Hey everybody, welcome back to, well, I guess it's car time now instead of truck time. And time with Jesus. Heading home. And, man, what a day. I mean, just what a day. You know, sometimes, when our days start off crazy. And I mean, like everything started from the beginning of the day. It was about 2 o'clock this morning when I woke up. I ran upstairs, got my paperwork off the table, and came back down to my truck and sat for a little bit and prayed and fell back asleep. My alarm went off, and you just try to start pushing through the day. And I still had an hour before I could even leave at that point. And I'm packing stuff up, cleaning the truck, and getting everything ready for when I got back so I could just go. And, when you put your time in for the time that you're wanting to be off, how many hours you're wanting to work that day, because, I mean, it's a little over a 2-hour drive for me, to get home. But, in just a day, I mean, the truck started acting up on me, wouldn't start, and it did it throughout the day, and then finally it started working again, and, everything was great then. But, you just go through days like this. But then it got me thinking about what Darlene said earlier to me, because these visions and stuff, and, I've seen bridges collapsing with cars falling through the bridges, and sure enough, I guess either late last night or early this morning, that this took place. And same thing with, what I spoke about in the one video, that I woke up and had that dream. The airplane came flying down. It was going down and turned sideways. This white van was coming over this bridge, and the plane went down, and I didn't, pretty much nobody survived. And that's exactly what I seen, that nobody survived, even in this incident when this happened that same day, people. I mean, I came home for lunch, and it was, she was telling me about it, and it happened that morning. So, man, sometimes you just wish that you could warn people, But if you warned them, would people listen? Well, I'm glad you asked. And I'm glad some of you are giving me an answer on this. But think about it. We're giving warning that Christ is coming, and how many people are taking it serious? This time of year right now, whether we celebrate the resurrection in the end of March or in April, it bounces back and forth. It's a sad time, but a happy time. And it's a sad time because of what Jesus took on for us. That beating was horrifying. But he took it willingly. And then it still wasn't enough. He had to carry that cross. Still wasn't enough. He had to be nailed to that cross. And then still not enough. At the end of it, every sin entered into his body. Well, I know what some of you might say. Well, Nelson, I don't take it lightly. I hope not. I really don't, because, the time's coming, and people will be left here. I see it more and more. I start thinking about all of these gang wars and all of this hatred and everything that's going on, the tattoos all over. And I'm not saying because I got tattoos. I mean, I'm not saying because you got tattoos, you're going to hell. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is this. You think about these people that are in prison, these life-term people, and you think about these people that are getting locked up in prison. You think about them, and you think about what's happening. Some of these people are being raped in there. Can you imagine the concept and the mind thinking of those that's happening to? How fast the devil enters into them, and how fast that they become just pure hatred and evil if they don't die first. I mean, you really think about this, people. I mean, it's a sick, twisted world. This is happening more and more. People are kidnapping people, and hopefully, when people see this time coming, that when we see paramedics and we see, oh man, I'm stuck in the wrong lane. When we see paramedics and we see people rushing off, these firefighters, just lift them up in prayer, man. Lift up these people and just, dang it. It's the same thing in my truck. Why I don't turn my turn signals on sometimes to the last minute? Because you turn it on and then people, now the person's trying to get back in the lane I'm trying to get out of. Unbelievable. See, this is the stuff where I just go, what in the world, Instead of staying where they were, you got to get 5 cars up ahead. But anyways, think about life and the value of it. God knew we couldn't do it without His Son. And I hope people just don't think about this time right now only this time of year. I hope they're constantly thinking about what's going on and all year round. We don't give this gift enough to people. And granted, you look at the Bible scripture where it talks about Jesus passing through places, and there's a verse in there where they asked Jesus, please stay with them. And you think about it, He was going to pass through there. And that's kind of like our lives. When we don't accept Jesus Christ to be in our lives, He's going to pass through people. When He comes back and we're not ready, He's going to pass by us. You're going to hear that awful words, be gone from me, I do not know you. So if you're wishy-washy, is it worth it? If you're pretending, is it worth it? To go through what's coming? I don't think so. Some days I wake up very sad. I wake up with bad dreams and I think about, and all I can do is just cry out to Him, and then I try every day to be the best I can be. And today I fell short, people. I really did. I really just wanted to go home. And it's like sometimes you just feel like you're in a prison. People just change stuff and change all the rules where I'm working at. I guess some things are changing. And, oh my gosh, this guy about hit us. But it's okay. I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful to still be making money and earning money. And for however long we still have income in this world before they take that control over us. And that's coming. But and then it's like I started saying a little bit ago, everything, jeez. This is about to be an accident. All day long, man. And it's just like, and I know right now this is just the devil just coming right back at me, because he comes the most when you're frustrated. And sometimes the frustration he gets in. And I'm trying my hardest not to allow this to happen. And yes, I do say prayers when it starts happening. I'm just glad I'm not in the big truck right now, because, my gosh, I'd be exhausted right now. But, I've been speaking about the examination. I've been speaking about that quiet time with God and that quiet time with Jesus. How much time, and I've even said this, write down how much time you spend watching TV in a day. How much time do you spend on your phone in a day? How much time do you spend talking to people in a day? How much time do you go through each event through the day? And then I want you on another piece of paper, write down how much time you spent in prayer time and just a daily walk in devotion with Jesus. I wonder which one's going to be full. Today, honestly, I had to lean on him more than myself. It's like the footprints. I always like that, because you think about when we're in our deepest troubled times, you always see two sets of footprints side by side, and he does walk with us. But when you're in that deepest moment and you feel like you're abandoned by the world and people, family, friends, whatever, that's when he's carrying us. He never left us. He carries us. And you think about that. You think about all that he gives up and all that he does. Goes to the Father on our behalf. He went to the cross on our behalf. He paid our debts that we were not able to pay. Now, I know some people go onto the Easter Bunny theory and do all the Easter egg hunts and all this stuff. My kids grew up the same way. I grew up that way. There was times, even as a young boy, I'd sit there and go, well, if this Easter Bunny's so big, where does he live? How come nobody can find him? I wasn't a big magical person. I didn't really like magic too much, because it's actually, as a child, it scared me. I didn't like the puppet things. I didn't like those ones with the strings, or even like Howdy Doody. I didn't even like Howdy Doody. It scared me. Those type of things, I never did really like them. The weird part about it is today, I like puppets. I mean, it's crazy. But I like the Muppets. When you walk in a light of light instead of darkness, look how your day goes. If you wake up in the morning and ask Jesus into your life, into today, and to change your day, change what's going on with your day. When things start going bad, start relying on him. I think about how many times I've failed him. I think about, and it's funny, because on here, I did a video in reply to somebody that left a long message. Well, I went back on there to look. I was going to read it again, but it's gone. Well, most likely obviously it got deleted, but pretty much the most of it was because of some of the things I said through the videos. And like I was saying in this video, I don't look at other people's channels. I don't look at other people's videos. Once in a while, I'll click on a video and I'll watch it that someone sends, and I'll get to the point of what they're at, and I end it. I'm not big on news. Do I run across it? Yes. Do I watch that expedition about Israel? Yeah, I watched that. It was interesting. It was very interesting. You know, you go back to where the Palestinians, when they tore down the temple, you know, and you look at the mosque and all that, you know, how every single thing is in line for a purpose. It's where it was built for a reason. Now that's amazing to me. You know, and because I said something about where Jesus was crucified, because the Jewish believe the temple was built there because they believe that's the mountain where Abram took Isaac up to sacrifice. Well, the Muslims believe that that's where Muhammad was risen up at. Well, okay, well, and then he went on about some videos or her, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, going on about some videos, and then again, I mean, if you're watching, this is why I believe some people don't pay attention to these videos. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, because if you would listen to what I'm saying, you wouldn't come against me it's almost like you're drawing straws, trying to find false in something that I'm speaking. I don't care if you believe me or not. Don't believe me. All I'm saying is, if that bloodline where they crucified Jesus, there's no record to prove that the Ark of the Covenant ever left out of there. But there's record to prove that King David said, now surely when the Ark arrived there, surely now God is with us. Well, they put it down in the lower rooms. So, if you're shedding blood and you're bleeding like crazy, and that blood is rolling downwards, is it possible that it could go all the way down to where the ark is? Is it possible where they can find drops of blood, if not blood over top of the ark? The only thing I'm meaning is this. If they find blood, and it only comes up with Mary's genes, because it's not going to have a man, it's not going to be Joseph, it's just going to be one-sided. Well, we know we get stuff from our mother and our father, which makes up our whatever it's called. You know, your father might be Irish, your mother might be Native American, might be African American, might be Jewish American, who the heck knows American? But you see what I'm saying? You got the bloodline of both. God placed Jesus. Does God have a DNA? I don't think so. Jesus became flesh. He has a DNA. But his DNA is going to be strictly Mary. Unless God has a DNA, then it's going to come up God and Jesus, God and Mary. That's all I was saying on it. And then I got to sit there and listen to somebody rambling on about videos and this person was... I think they were even proved that it didn't exist or something. I don't know. I don't really care. Because I'm telling this person the same, if they end up watching this video, the same as I tell everybody. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. When you walk into hell, you're going to believe it. You're going to believe it before you get to it, because you're going to feel the heat. And you're going to hear the wailing and the crying, and you're going to hear all these things, and you're going to start seeing it. But I guarantee you one thing, when you turn around and you see heaven, there's going to be no doubt in your mind. I don't have to lie about this stuff. No need to. I know what I see. I know the things that are coming. I mean, there's so many things that I can sit here and tell you that has happened that there's no way to explain it. I'll give you a good example. And I want somebody, I think I mentioned this before. I hope somebody comments and says yes or no, they believe, or no, this could have happened. But I just would like somebody else's thought on this. Can we agree you can use a cell phone that's not serviced to call 911? You can. As long as the battery's charged and it turns on, you can dial 911 from a cell phone. Even if you don't have service, you give an old cell phone to your kids and you tell them if you ever get in trouble, you dial 911, that phone will ring to 911. They can then tell 911 and it might eliminate some of this kidnapping. These days, kindergarten's got cell phones, people. I'm telling you. But I want you to think about this. I want you to really think about this. Now, if I didn't pay my cell phone bill, what happens? They turn it off, right? Well, I'm glad we're agreeing on this so far. Now, Darlene and my phone is on the same policy, which I'm sure most of you have numerous lines on one policy. It's not uncommon these days. So that being said, if my phone is turned off, I turned it off because I was working on the apartment complex and I didn't see the sense of keeping it on because I didn't talk to anybody. Nothing has changed much, but it's okay. So, if the service isn't working, there's no service to a phone, then can you please somebody explain to me? Now, I know some of you might go, well, there's a way to go to Wi-Fi and this. Okay. Maybe. I didn't know how to do that stuff, and I still don't know how to do that stuff. But I'm going to go more into this. So, now we take that out of the equation. So, where we were living, it was hard to get regular cell phone service, let alone Wi-Fi. Well, we didn't have Wi-Fi because our cable was included with our rent. So that being said, why would we need Wi-Fi? We didn't have a computer. We didn't have no need for Wi-Fi. So, all that being said, and my phone then sends you a text message, please somebody explain to me how that is even possible. Now, I get the whole AI talking and all this stuff. This is before all this. But AI's been around for a long time, people. Don't be foolish and think it hasn't. I mean, we can go all the way back to, like I said before, Lost in Space, C-3PO. Come on. I mean, they've been programming us for a long time to be okay with robots. But anyways, now, if my phone, because it was messed up, so we bought extra batteries and it came with a charger, so we would just charge the batteries in there and then put them in our phone. Okay, now my phone's taken apart, the battery's on charge, and my phone's sitting there, I'm cooking, and all of a sudden, someone gets a text message that's in the house. Now they're sitting there at this little bar thing, whatever them breakfast nook thingies are called, where the stools are. Well, they're sitting there talking to me while I'm cooking. Now, they see me never pick up that phone. Ever. But yet, received a text message from my phone. It gets better. We're sitting in church. And this did not just happen to Darlene's daughter. It did not just happen to Darlene. It's happened to other people. Matter of fact, some people came against me so hard, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, let alone I wouldn't have sent you a message anyways. But it's the stuff that was being said on there. I believe 100% it was the Lord. Because everything was spoken has come true. Everything. There wasn't one thing that did not come true on there. I would have to be a genius. Now, here's what goes on now. Well, Nelson, you used to be in the demonic thing. How do we know that? Are you kidding me? If you think I'm going to go into the demonic realm to find out your future, you're mistaken. Because I know the consequences that comes with it. It's not an easy in and out type thing. Could it be possible? Yes. Absolutely. Because if you're following Lucifer, it doesn't take long to figure out your timeline. But these were all warnings to the people to stop doing what you're doing, or giving, advice or whatever it was. So it's kind of like believing what you want to believe, but disbelieve, because we put God in a box. Just like I said before, it's like believing that a donkey didn't speak. Well, I believe the Bible, but I don't believe a donkey spoke. Why? Because you never saw it? So for this person to sit here and come against the very things that I have seen or spoken, I don't care what videos this person watched. I don't care what videos anybody watched. And I'm not being mean. I'm not being disrespectful. I just don't care. I mean, why send me a book on something that, and to be honest, I just skimmed through it. Because when I start seeing stuff like that, and I don't recognize the person, but I do believe this is the same person that's come against other things, and I proved that wrong too. I know the things I see. I know the things I touch. I remember the first time I told somebody I seen animals in heaven, they called me a liar. Okay. You'll see it. If you get a chance to go there, you'll see it. That's all I can tell you. But now you hear about it more and more. There's more people speaking about it. Are they just copying off somebody else's videos? I don't know. Don't really care. That's between them and God. See, when we start minding our own business and we're not on there for gain, and I believe there's a lot of this happening right now, these false prophets and people seeking money and whatever the heck else they're seeking. Woe to you is all I can say. Woe to you. I'll be the first one to pray for somebody if they ask for prayer. And again, I'm not bragging on myself. I would never do that before. So it shows how much Jesus changed me over the years. I'm not afraid to put my hands on somebody and pray over them. I'm not afraid to grab some oil and anoint them with oil and pray over them. Never before would I. If you allow Jesus to mold and sculpt you and to change you and to prune off stuff out of your life, it's hard. People don't want to have stuff pruned out of their lives because they don't want to lose something. They can take it all. I pray all the time for Jesus' will to be done. I know Darlene prays. Does it mean we're not going to go through trials? No, doesn't mean that. We absolutely are going through them. But it's how we go through the storm. I know this. I know Jesus didn't let the disciples drown in the boats. I know he didn't let Peter drown when he took his eyes off when he started to sink. I know he didn't leave me in hell. He could have. He could have simply just said, I don't know you. Look at all the things you said about my Father. You can stay in hell. You deserve it. And the crazy thing is, I couldn't argue with that. I still don't argue with it. I'm grateful. I'm very thankful. But he had to mold and chip and chisel me for a long time. But I didn't want to let go of that power that I had of my life. I didn't want somebody to tell me how to live my life. I didn't have it growing up, so why would I want someone to do that? Today, I'll go wherever Jesus tells me to go. If he leaves me here and he says go to New York and take people down to wherever, then that's what I do. Do I want to do it? I don't have a say. You know why I don't have a say? Because I freely give him my free will and I freely give him my life. You think people would listen to someone that has been in dark places? And I tell you hell's real and I tell you heaven's real. You think somebody would just go, let me really think about that for a split moment. It's going to be very interesting these next few months. You know, you think about Donald Trump, you know, even walking through this vision when I was talking to Paul yesterday, telling me, you know, a lot of things about the coming and stuff. And I was listening to another guy video because I was driving, and I can only do a one touch when I'm driving. So I just had to let it play, and I was listening to this guy's video, and the stuff he was saying is similar to what Paul was saying. You know, Donald Trump is basically, the way I'm taking it, going to bring in the Antichrist. Because Donald Trump is going to be, he's going to grow so ignorant, not ignorant, I'm trying to think of the best word for this. Basically prideful, arrogant. He's going to be very arrogant. He's going to go after all these people that's come against him, and he's going to focus on that. And that is what's going to make him fail. Because that's not what God wants him to do. But he would be the right person to bring in the Antichrist. Donald Trump isn't perfect. I mean, look at all the stuff. And he's found guilty of it. He's man. So be it. That's between him and God. Take warning. Take warning before it's too late. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I don't need to be walking in a field and lightning bolts are striking everywhere, and that stuff are gonna hit me. Well, I'm not willing to take that chance. Are you? Good luck if you are. It's very important. You know, wait till I start digging into some of these tablets. I mean, there's some stuff on there that I was reading some of them, and I was just, I get amazed. You know, I get in this awe moment, like, wow. You know, it's pretty amazing. I mean, some of it goes back to 2013, 2012. Maybe 2011. I think I'm almost positive one was about 2011. But the weird thing is, if I would have wrote down all the thoughts I've had growing up, I wonder how many books I would have then. I think about that sometimes, all these things I've seen and all the things that I've heard over the years. Wow, that would be incredible to sit back and read all that stuff. But if you think Lucifer's going to need you, you don't need him. Once this time transfer is over, once he's got you, he's got you. He's just going to ship you off to hell. And you're going to start your eternal damnation. Good luck. I don't know. You know, I forget who I was talking to, but they said that he ran into somebody that said that they have never lied ever in their life. And I said, well, that's a lie right there. My one boss told me nobody at his company lies. Nobody that works in the management department. That's the biggest lie I've heard right there. You just lied. It's something, isn't it? Good grief. Like, I had a lady say one day, I was at work, and she goes, they were talking about theft. She goes, I've never stolen anything. As she's pulling out stuff out of her briefcase, I said, that's an interesting pin. Where'd you get that? Oh, I got it from my bank. They want you to take it. Okay, does it say free, take one? No, they're in a cup. It's got their names on it because they want you to end up using it and setting it down somewhere so it's advertisement. I said, okay, but did you ask permission or did you just take it assuming that's what they want you to do with that? And it's not just for customers. No. I just assumed. That's what I've always been told. How do you know unless you ask? I said, okay, what about those paper clips you got on those papers? Do you take those home? Well, yes. Did you ask? If everybody took home bunches and bunches of paper clips, you got to order more. What about a pencil? You ever take a pencil home from work? Yeah. You ever take a folder? Yeah. Did you ask? No? Well, that's theft. So you cannot say that you have never stolen. It's just office supplies. We use it. You use it in what? An office. It's not home supplies. It doesn't say office and home. Help yourself. If I had to buy all that stuff that everybody's taking home, I wouldn't like it. What about a rubber band? You ever take a rubber band home? Yes. Well, so I suppose that's theft. Technically, it is. I can't just walk into a store and grab a bunch of stuff and throw it in the cart and walk out with it and say, well, hey, I work here. I'm going to use this at home. Good luck with that. See how little things is that we think it's okay, but it's really not. If you have to walk around in life looking around everything you do, you're doing something wrong. You shouldn't have to look around to see if someone's watching you. You shouldn't. But people do it. Doesn't matter. God already knows you're going to do it before you do it. So you might as might as well ask him before you do something, do you want me to do this? But the problem is, you're never going to know, you're never going to hear an answer if you don't stand there long enough to listen. Well, he didn't say nothing, so I'm going about my way. Okay, well, go ahead. Let me know how that works out for you. My household's out of control. It's out of control because you choose to have it out of control. It takes two parents. If there's two parents in the house, it takes both of you. If there's one parent in the house, then it takes you to play two roles. Unfortunately, you have to do it. I said it all along. I was a father, then a friend to my kids. Did what I had to do. Was I hard on them? Yes, because I wanted them in school. I wanted them to get good grades. I wanted them to be able to graduate and have a chance, a running chance at life, than to have nothing. Pretty much, that's pretty much what most of them have, nothing. Not that possessions and all that stuff, but I'm saying it's not good. But it's their lives. One day they might leave. Hopefully it's not too late for them. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm tired. I'm just exhausted. You ever just wake up crying and you don't even know why you're crying? Well, when I went up to get that paperwork and I came back down, I just sat in this seat. I mean, my curtains were closed. Not that I cared, but I just started crying. Like I felt pain. Like I don't know why, but I felt like I felt somebody else's pain. And when I was driving today, I started crying again, and I felt the same way. Like somebody was being hurt or being made fun of or something. I felt this heavy burden, and I just couldn't stop crying. It was horrifying. I just feel bad, whatever's happening with someone. Just feel bad. Someone is going through some difficult times, or being made fun of, or bullied, or whatever it may be. Bullies are nothing but cowards. Their time's going to come. They're going to see. They're going to see the coming. They're going to wish they weren't a bully, because hell's got a special place for them. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Oh my gosh. I sound like a freak, man. I got a feeling with all this, everything going on, this solar eclipse, I spoke about the weather patterns. When the Lord told me that we would see hurricanes when it wasn't hurricane season, tornadoes, and all these things. And I'm telling you, I've seen Florida people getting pounded and getting hit in Texas, California, Nevada, Idaho. I'm just waiting for all this to start. As soon as it does, you ever want one of those moments where you could just say, "See, I told you so." But that's wrong to even do that. Because I'm only as good as he who gives me the word. And I'm not even good. he is. But he says the only person who's good is the Father. Imagine that. I just wonder, when all this starts unfolding, what are these people going to think? You ever work with people that just hurt your feelings? And I don't know why it's bothered me so much, but I didn't even want to stop to get something to eat on the way home today because somebody said something to me yesterday and it really hurt my feelings. I mean, really. I mean, I even watched today. I tried not to eat. I was just going to eat once. And I fought. I mean, I really tried not to. But, it's like the third person at where I work at that's pretty much told me I was fat. And you can't help it, but how to feel. I mean, how would you feel if somebody walked up and called you fat? I mean, I know I've gained some weight. I lost quite a bit during the summer because, I was out working and but it doesn't take long. And I know what a lot of you are going to say. Well, manage your food, manage this, calorie count. People, I try. Can't help it. I'm hungry. I haven't been eating the stuff that I normally eat. I've been trying to change some of the stuff up, but sometimes it's easier just to hold something in your hand and eat it. I know how to eat healthy. I know how to plan my day and meals, and I didn't always eat the way I eat today. I'm not stupid. And that's kind of what I told this guy yesterday. I was like, dude, I trained for years. I get it. I know. Yeah, but that was years ago. But you see how the devil doesn't stop. He just keeps on and on and on. I got into it with another guy. I don't know what in the world. It's just like the last few days coming up, get closer to this solar eclipse. I'm not even, I'm hoping if we go into a 3-day of darkness, I'm hoping that everything shuts down and we have to go home. Because Monday, I'm not even paying attention to it. If I'm out driving, I don't even want to see it. It has nothing for me. First of all, I don't want to see anything that's going to cover up the light of the world. I've seen that too much in my life. I don't want to see more of it. Let alone, how do you know how close any of this is? How do you know that sun isn't going to be able to burn you or something? You don't really know. What if them glasses don't work and you end up going blind? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, what if? People play... when you play Russian roulette with the devil long enough, you're about to get a bullet. Just remember that. He's still around. He hasn't lost yet. Gosh, I might actually have to pull over, get a little bit of sleep just to make it home. on after 7 o'clock now. And I still got a ways to go. Ay, ay, ay. Well, it was good to hear back from some of the people commenting that they're okay. And, and again, people, I'd have to go on there. I mean, I've actually went back on some of the older videos and sent messages out to people to see how they are from their older videos from the beginning, and I haven't heard back from any of them. So I gather that they're probably not even watching the videos anymore, which is okay. Hopefully they found something. These videos can't save you. I mean, the messages can. If you accept Jesus, that's the only way. I don't know. What if Jesus came right now? Does anybody else? I'm sure people think about this. I know I do. I wonder how many people would be confessing his name then. It's going to be a little too late for that. So, anyways, I'm going to end this video. So when I start getting like this, it's although I went back and listened to a few videos that got kind of the drowsiness in me, and some of the stuff spoken in there, I was amazed by it. Like, wow, that's all the Lord right there speaking. But whatever time of day you're watching this or night, I pray God blesses you and puts you in a place where you can hear and be able to read the Word, be lifted up in the Word, and start having your life change and be ready. That being said, God bless you guys. I love you. Till the next one.